The November 1938 pogrom was actually the peak of a variety of events in the year 1938, which made it to be a turning point in the anti-Jewish policy. This has to do with the radicalization of anti-Jewish policy and also to the preparations of Nazi Germany to the war. 1938 began with the process of the Anschluss, the annexation of Austria to the German Reich, which took place in March 1938 and was at the time a peak of the anti-Jewish street violence. While it cannot compare the anti-Jewish violence in Vienna in March and April 1938 to what happened in the German city in the Altreich, in the old German Reich. And this contributed, one may say, to a radicalization of the anti-Jewish policy. Then in mid-1938, we can see different examples which foreshadowing the events of November 1938 from other perspectives. More Jews and others, but mainly Jews, are being arrested to concentration camps. For example, the group which is called asocials, people who are not contributed to the society, not active enough, are being arrested. There's also a tendency to arrest Jews for a very, very light juridical problems. For example, for a transportation event, if one is crossing the street in red light, he can be taken to a concentration camp if he's Jewish, and other such examples. Also, anti-Jewish street violence and even demolition of synagogues was beginning in summer 1938 in several places. In October 1938, there was another radicalization in anti-Jewish policy, and this was parallel to the events of the Munich Conference and the annexation of the Sudetenland. One can see here again the parallels between the anti-Jewish policy and the radicalization of the Nazi foreign policy and preparation later on for expansion and for the war. Jews without German citizenship, Jews who actually had Polish citizenship, were expelled from Germany to Poland in a very violent act in October 1938. It's very famous for the area of Zabonchin in the borderland between Germany and Poland, and in which Jewish refugees whose German citizenship who did not have German citizenship and had Polish citizenship stood in the middle between these two countries for some time. The well-known story is about Herschel Greenspan, who was a member of a family of one of these refugees, and shot the German diplomat Ernst von Rath in Paris in October 1938 as a trigger to the pogrom. But actually we know today that the German regime, the Nazi regime, prepared for such an event, and especially for mass arrests of Jews, especially rich Jews, already months before, then actually waited for a trigger for this anti-Jewish event. The event of the pogrom itself can be divided to two or three major elements. The first one of the most famous is, of course, the burning of the synagogues. We speak today about more than 1,000 synagogues all over Germany who were burned, and this is a major turning point in the presence of Jews in the German social and public space. In addition, we know today, according to new scholarships, about the demolition of many Jewish homes during this pogrom. The other element, which I think in the long run had even a deeper impact on the life of the Jews, was the arrest of close to 30,000 Jewish men in 3 German concentration camps, Sachsenhausen, Buchenwald, and Dachau. And this is actually part of a policy of forced immigration of the Jews. I mean, these Jewish men were arrested. Today we speak, I think, around 26,000, this is the number today, in order to force themselves and their family to immigrate out of Germany immediately. And this is a turning point in the Nazi anti-Jewish policy. It also has to do with the fact that following the pogrom of 1938, it is very clear from now on the SS is becoming the central governmental agency which is responsible for the anti-Jewish policies. And the third major element is a variety of laws and regulations which are much deeper than before, are bringing the Jews to social death and to total alienation for the German society.